Hi everyone, welcome back. So this is going to be a quick rundown of my top apps to use on an iOS or an Android phone. The first one is an app called BANDLAB. Now BANDLAB is very similar to Logic or GarageBand or I suppose Ableton, any sort of DAW. The beauty of this is that it is online and that everything that you create can be accessed either on your phone or through the web browser. Now, as you can just see here, that I'm just panning through what I can add. It's got a looper, MIDI instruments, beats, and it's also got some inspirational tracks as well. If you're stuck for ideas, this is a really good app to use. Lots of content creators will upload beats that they have made. If you press the fork button at the side, if you like a beat, then it will load it into the actual DAW, and from there you can record your own vocals over the top or additional instruments if you want to. This is just a really good way to sort of get the inspiration going and start with something that's already been made. So from here, I'm just going to select a vocal track. So I've pressed the audio one, and at the moment it's actually going to capture the audio that is coming from my iPhone microphone. Now there's some really cool things that you can do with this. As you just saw, I could use the auto correction, and there's also a really nice selection of audio effects as well. So reverbs, delays, distortion, it's kind of got it all. So you can sort of get away with using your iPhone microphone and still get a pretty good quality sound by using some of these effects. So if you have a look at what I'm doing here, I'm just sort of changing some of the additional parameters just to customize it a little bit more. So that is the beauty of using those effects. You can actually customize the pre-made presets. So once you're ready with your selected effect, you can just hit the record button and start the recording process, as you can see here. Now obviously you can go in and edit those effects afterwards if you want to change them, or you could just record it in clean if you want to and add the effects afterwards. So if you have a look on the left hand side next to this audio button, it shows up in green. So when I press that, I can actually hear the vocals coming through to my headphones. So activate that if you want to hear your main audio channel come through your headphones. So as an addition, as you just saw, you can swipe the sidebar and you can adjust the volumes. So as you would in a standard mixer, this is how you can kind of balance your tracks. And at the side, you could also see a pan. Now I'm just making a quick loop because what I'm going to do is I'm going to overdub this section and record an additional harmony. So as you can see now, I have just added another vocal track and I'm going to record that harmony in there. So with input monitoring on, I can sing and pan through the different effects and sort of hear my vocal change as I go along. So this is just a nice way to sort of determine which effects that you like and which ones that you will use for your recording. I like this effect. This is the dual octaver and it has sort of like that octave drop and the one on the top, which is really sort of commonly used now in a lot of modern pop production. But yeah, that is definitely one of my favourite effects that it comes with. So I'm just going to try a couple of different effects as this is playing through. So I'm going to switch on the auto pitch and see if that will make a cool sound. This is an optional step. Obviously I'm using a pre-recorded track, but I'm just going to show you that you can add additional instruments from the MIDI instruments browser on as an addition. So there's loads here, so you can play the samples just to hear sort of what the pack sounds like, and then when you are happy with your selection, you can download those onto your phone and use those. Open up the keyboard to sort of play it as you would whether you're using Logic or GarageBand, and again you can also use audio effects to manipulate the sound further. Okay, so it will take a little bit of experimenting and getting used to, but there are so many really, really good sounds on this. And again, I think the beauty of using this is that you can manipulate the sound further by using audio effects. So I'm going to continue with this edit and try and get something that sounds half decent done. I think it's absolutely amazing that I've managed to just create a really quick, simple idea just using my microphone on my iPhone, and it sounds pretty decent. So if you're really stuck with equipment, there are so many tools out there to sort of experiment with, so this is definitely one that is worth a try. Okay, here we go. So all you want to do to make a collaboration is open BANDLAB, and I'm going to start a new recording project. So yeah, I'm just going to choose the voice and the mic. So start by recording a couple of ideas if you want to. As you can see, I'm doing right here. Okay, so I've got my recording. It's all good to go to share. So make sure that you save your work. Now make sure that you also name your project. So I'm just going to call mine new sample. Okay, everything else is fine. So once that's saved, you can now share that with another member of your team. So if you have a look in the folder, these are all my projects. So you can see new samples is there, and at the moment it's private. I've not published it yet. So I want to invite collaborators to my new samples project. Now I've already worked with someone before, so you can see it, but if you start to type in names, then their username comes up in the caption. So once you have found the person that you are working with, select them, and then they are now invited to your project. Okay, so if you click on the bell, you can see the invite. So the other person that has the invite will be able to see that in their notifications. And now the other person can work and collaborate with you on the piece that you are creating, which is really fun. So I have a few going there. I'm going to show you one that I've already been collaborating on, this Lo-Fi Vibes. Now you can see a chain, so that's what I've done from the start, and then that is what the next person has done. So I can open up that file and I can see my track, which is in purple, and my collaborator's track, which is in pink. So I can just go ahead and add to that. So every time that you add an instrument or you add a loop, you want to make sure that you are saving it every time. So I'm just going ahead and adding some loops as I go. So you can see that I've actually recorded another line, and I'm going to save that. So once it is saved, the other person on the chain can now see what I've added. So you can just keep doing that back and forth and adding to the same session. So this is a really easy way to collaborate with people online and just to share ideas. So give it a go, try and create some cool effects for your piece. Have fun!